what I love in terms of where your focus is, it's not only helping authors, but even more specifically, professionals, entrepreneurs, to actually turn their book. Now, we've heard this before, right? To write a book so you have a business card. But you go way beyond that. Mm-hmm. So Samantha actually helps entrepreneurs, executives actually turn their book into a tool for business growth, to expand your influence and overall business success. So I know your story is just as chock full of twists and turns, which culminated to this baby your journey.
Sure. What a great segue. Like, Yona, like I feel you so much. Like, this is the first time I get to meet you in person. But she said something really important. She said, I take writers and become authors. So we take authors and turn you into like a business, because to sell is to serve, and opportunities come from people. Like, you wrote that book, you didn't want just your mom and your dad and like your 100 friends to buy it, right? Like, you wrote it for a reason, right? Like 600 books sold right from this one man here. Like, there's a reason for it. There's an intrinsic motivation why, right? So you're right. Like, you know, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 25. I started in the event and publicity world. So I actually come from a completely different industry than you, but very complementary. So I would meet a lot of authors and they would have hired me for that PR side. Like, help me, like, as you said, like, announce and you know, do that. So I did it many times over, mostly for women in business. And, you know, I would collect kind of what was going on. So, you know, I did the media thing, but then they would launch and then like nothing would happen. And it's because that becoming of an author is truly that. We are becoming authors, and we become it every day, and we grow. And the goal is that your book is more popular 2, 5, 20 years from now than it is at launch. And that was what, like, so I started, little did I know that from doing that as an event planner, and then I was hired to do like event book tours for some notable names that you mentioned. I got to see behind the curtain of what was going on. And then Samar and I I'll be honest, I was getting burnt out in the event industry. It's a lot of work. It is. And I was behind all the brands and names. But there was this expectation that like I do it for them and I lift them higher. And like, I didn't have the words when I was younger to understand what was going on, but I knew I had to change, and I knew I wanted something different for my next business. And that's where Samara comes in. Like, she's been, you know, one of my best friends for many years. And you know, when you have that one girlfriend, you always talk about a business idea and you know you're about to do something, you just don't know when. Right. And imagine our second children, they're born 3 months apart. Aww. And like, I named my baby Abundance. I said, you're gonna bring me my next business idea. Because in 2015, I sold my first business, and there was a gap from 2015 to 2022. So I tell you all of this because I think you can see where I'm going here. You know what I mean? Like, there's lessons that I learned along that way, that you can't just expect someone else behind you, as Yona just said, to lift you up if you're not becoming yourself. You know what I mean? Like, at Lucky Book Publishing, like, that's what we focus on, like, every single week. It's about authors showing up and becoming. It's about, you know, Dion was here and now she's here because she took those incremental steps every week. You know what I mean? And opportunities come from people, you know? And that's what's happening today in this room. I've heard some incredible stories today. And I hope you know that you can leave here today with a bigger network and community to lift you higher, you know? And I just want to say, like, to sell is to serve, and it's good to make money, right? It's not just about your children's book that costs $10 or $15. That's the sand in your business. But what are the rocks and the pebbles? We just talked about that this week, right? I made all my authors present to me what else they're selling in their business, because Hal can have a book and it's $20, but then what else can I consume from Hal? Because what happens with that becoming of an author? I want more. Yes. I want more. And then are you just going to leave it at $20? Or are you going to have something else? Are you going to do live events? Are you going to have a course? Are you going to, you know what I mean? Are you going to do coaching? Are you going to do a clarity call? Like, have your prices ready so that, like, okay, if you come up to me tonight and you ask me, okay, Sam, how much does it cost to be on the top? She has it right on her website. You can know. If you're going to book a call with her, it's going to cost this much. Yeah, and we do too. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing, because to sell is to serve. And like, we've got 3 authors in the room right here. I mean, I got to give you a shout out, Shelley. And then Shelly, I love you so much. Shelly, 64 years young, comes to us and she says, I want to write a book, but even if it's just my grandchildren to read it, I'm good, Sammy. So she takes our course and she writes this book. Well, it didn't stop there. You know, because she showed up every week in our authors community call, like she's one of those people, because some people, they ghost me after. They write the book and they said they want to publish, but they're not becoming, you know, and let's just be real, that's going to happen, right? But someone like Shelly, you showed up every single Monday and you did your homework every single week. And what happened as a result of that? This lady, she would sell out at hospital gift shops all the time. I get a message from her, she's like, Sam, I gotta go replenish this. Like, who thought about that? You know what I mean? Like, that is so cool. You know what I mean?
And 64 holds in the library, that add to that. So,
yeah, exactly. Like, she put her book in the library bought 12 books. She'd always send me screenshots and be like, Sam, there's 50 holds on my book. So, you know, success looks different for every author, right?
It does.
But for her, that was amazing. And she worked at a gym and a yoga studio. She worked for other people. And every day she kept on showing up. She's like, oh yeah, I don't really have anything else to sell. Like, Sam keeps on talking about selling. And then I finally said, I'm like, are you ready? Are you ready to do something more? And she's like, Sammy, yes. So we sat down and we mapped out her rocks and her pebbles. And that was just in December. January now, fitnesswithshell.com, she's got 6 private clients already in her personal training business. Right? 65 years young, 6 paying clients, right? Like money in her pocket, schedule that she gets to control, and she's actually launching her second book on longevity right now too. You know, I can't say anybody, you know what I mean? So it's not an age thing, it's not a thing, isn't it just like it's that intrinsic, it's in you. So there's some people in this room, you're gonna be like, yes, let's go, like I'm coachable. And then some of you are like, I think I'm, you know, but like, can you just do it for me? You know, but it's, you know, like you gotta be like, you gotta be in it. It's your brand, it's your being. But I'm telling you, if you show up, it's gonna make results, you know, and it's so fun. So I hope over the evening you can talk to Hal and Danielle and Dion and Shelly, like some of the people that we work with. So thank you.
Yes, show up. Next question is for you. Yes. You, as we mentioned, are the SEO and Kindle Direct Publishing expert, KDP, for those who don't know, aka
all the back end stuff.
Yes, Queen of the back end, right?
That's right.
Can you please share with the audience, you know, a little bit, your role is integral to the publishing process. Can you share a little bit about what you do, and then maybe expand a little bit on how you use that to help authors, you know, grow their business?
Yeah. So a book is a lead generating machine for your business. Let's repeat that. A book is a lead generating machine for your business. So what do I mean by that? When somebody reads your book, they're going to come to you, to your website. They're going to like and trust you, and then they're going to come to your website for your offers and services. And that's the key. That's the important part. As Samantha said, if you have those offers and services on your website, they're going to hire you, going to work with you, right? So the back end stuff is the non-fun stuff that I do on the back end that nobody wants to do. So that you leave it to us. I want you to share your story, focus on the marketing, sharing your gifts with the world, and leave the back end stuff for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
And can you share a little bit about that back end? Like, what does that
Sure.
entail?
Okay, so one of them, for example, is Audible. Audible is huge, right? And there's no competition on Audible. Unlike KDP, if you've ever self-published, you know, yeah, exactly. So KDP is a different game than Audible. So what I would do is I will come to you and say, okay, here are 5 narrators that narrated and auditioned for your book. And you can go ahead and choose one of the best ones, right? You're gonna tell me, I resonate with that voice or that one. And I'm gonna go and do all the back end stuff from search engine optimization, making sure, you know, your book is gonna be narrated and approved through ACX. So that's just a glimpse of what I do. Besides like putting you in the right categories to become a bestseller, because you know what? It's nice to become a bestseller and have that badge, right? So we help you with that, and that's the beauty of it.
So good, right? These are the little nuances, right? Yes.
Also, everything that they don't tell you. For example, they don't allow you to distribute your books like at an event like this as a lead gen. So they make you sign documents. They tell you you're not allowed, you know, the publisher.
You
You're
can't
not
give it
allowed to
away?
give your books for free.
Yeah.
So that's something that we actually want you to give your books for free because it's a lead gen back to your business. Right?
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are the hidden stuff that nobody tells you
Yeah.
about when you're signing.
This is traditional publishing.
Yeah, this is a traditional
Yeah,
publishing.
not us, not us.
Yeah, there's a lot of strict
We
rules.
want
You
you to
can't do
give. We
this.
want you to grow your
Yeah.
business. We want more people to know about you and your story and your gifts.
And that's the advantage of the hybrid publishing. It's like you really own
Yes.
your stuff. You know, you are able to make decisions based on whatever's best for you and best for your brands. When you work for the mainstream publisher, you got to do the dance for the man. Okay, I can't tell you how many times, like I said, I closed the door, and I'm like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and we're not gonna tell them this is what we're gonna do. I was always rogue. I was, and the thing is, my boss knew it, and he was just like, oh, it's young, okay. But the thing is, they really couldn't say anything because you know, the authors would always come back and say, oh my God, you know, Yona, blah, 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 blah. That's when author care was number one for me. So I would always get the emails from the agents and the authors that say, you know, Yona was so great and, you know, she thought outside the box.
Can I just say, like, I love that she talked about that. Like, I love, it's called the audience avatar. Do you guys know what you're talking about? So the people who have books in this room, do you understand your audience? Something we do a very deep dive with our authors. You should have like 2 pages minimum of who that person is. Where do they shop? What do they like? Who are these people? Because that's who you're going to zone into. Okay. So remember, there's over 4 million books that are published in a year. That's very loud. Okay. Like Shelley's book is called Healthy and Fit for Women Over 50. Like niche, right? You want to niche down so much that it feels uncomfortable because that is actually where the community is. You know, and I think that that's really the key message that Yona said, and that what we focus on in hybrid publishing is like, I need you to understand who your audience is because if you do that homework, then I can get you there faster. So every single opportunity, like I just want to say kudos to this woman because she worked in a traditional publisher. Her job, she made up her job description. She was an entrepreneur, like legit. I know that. I know because I talked to a lot of people don't do that because what she's talking about is what we do, right? Because we own the company. We can do whatever we want. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we know what works, right? Because we've been around, like I said, I came from the event, saw what people were doing. It made me sad. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, even like, you know, Dion, like, I was so excited when I saw your book and that you had published, and I was just like, and I realized she'd self-published, and I was just like, she's the first author that I actually like went to, like, after, normally they work with us through the ecosystem, but I said, I saw something special in Dion, and I said, Dion needs representation. She needs a Lucky Book family. Like, she needs to be part of a community because she is going to fly. You know what I mean? So we took her book from self-published and we republished it under Lucky Book Publishing because I knew that I could really help her and that we can create that sustainability that she wanted. Like, she had such a big vision, and it's all like she was already there. But she just, you know what I mean? Like, she was ready to go up the mountain and keep going, and she was just so coachable. And you still are. Like, you show up all the time, and we're doing this together, right? And I'm seeing you evolving in your being, and it's because, like, you get it, and you do the work. And it's not, I'm not talking, like, a lot of work, guys. But I'm talking, like, you got to put in, like, at least a few hours a week. Like Elizabeth Gilbert used to say, she's like, put on an egg timer and write. Like, I'm talking 20 minutes. When I say write, maybe it's the brainstorming of who do I know in the media, or who do I know who loves books, like, in my audience avatar, or like, let me just Google some book fairs that are coming up or something, you know, or what international days resonate with my book so that I know that, okay, Black History Month is a big thing. Like, I'm going to be ready for Black History Month 2026. You know what I mean? Like, it's around the corner, guys. So unless you did it already, like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to play catch up, you know? So it's just like, it's just like, it's doing all those things and doing it sort of consistently. That's going to make like such a big impact. And we're seeing it. It's so fun.
They were the lighter fluid, right, to my book. So I just want to say that. Now, you know, I just love where the sparks are flying. So yes, hopefully this is helping you decipher your author's journey.
She started documenting her journey, writing the books. So she would create social media content while she's drafting, like day one of me becoming, you know, a published author. And she would document herself writing and brainstorming. She even documented, she made a video before talking to us. That's the truth. She made a video. She's like, I'm gonna jump on a call to talk to a potential publisher. So this is where it starts, right? Document your journey all the way through until it's out there. Another one is Charles, one of our authors. One thing he did, which was brilliant, and it's also part of our strategy and marketing your book, is basically he posted his 3 covers that we gave back to him to his community on LinkedIn, and it went viral. Everybody was fighting in the chat, saying this is cover number 1, no 2, no 3. So they were fighting, and that made the post go viral. And he doesn't have the manuscript ready yet. So look at that. That's the beauty of it, right? Start from the beginning.
Yes.
And I'll just say, like, don't be a best kept secret. You know, and that's what I think it is. Remember we said, like, you're becoming an author? It really is like a new job. Like, I became a mother, I became a wife, I became a grad student. Like, you know, become, you know what I mean? So this becoming. And I know we all face imposter syndrome, right? And we have that self-doubt. Like, look, I've seen all the authors nod our head like, no, like, you deserve it. And remember, it's not about us anymore. It's about that audience avatar. And there's, even if it's that one person who they're gonna read your book and you're gonna change their life. It's amazing. And that's what we do, and that's what we're here to do.
And while you have the mic, why don't you take the audience through a client journey from idea, inception to market?
Sure. Okay. So the thing is, there is a blueprint. There's a blueprint of how you're going to do it, okay? What we like to do is, we love that you're writing. Sometimes, so people, let's be real, sometimes people are coming with a draft manuscript. I talked to someone, their book is done, 200 words, where is she? Like the Eat, Pray, Love girl. Anyways, so her book is done, but then some people have, there you are. And then some people are still writing. Number 1, don't be a best kept secret. So lead gen is number 1. So we had an author, she was writing her first children's book. She said, and it's called Mom's Business Baby. So all she didn't have a cover or anything. If you're a mom and an entrepreneur, you need to be part of my top secret project. Put your info in here. You'll know why later. So you see what I mean? So right away, she's just planting the seed, okay? So you're gonna write, I'm just gonna take you through our hybrid process. So you're gonna write, and you're gonna show up every week. You're gonna show up once a week on Monday for our authors community calls. And that's where you're gonna get some homework to keep that dial moving forward on your author journey, okay? We're gonna give you homework based on where you're at, okay? So that you keep talking, keep building your brand. Number 2, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens in the back end. As Yona said, you know, you have a team behind you, so you don't have to go and pay out all this other money. You paid a flat rate. It is my job as your book coach to start working on your cover, optimizing your title and subtitle, start doing all of that. That is not your job as an author. That is not your zone of brilliance, okay? That is our zone of brilliance. It's our responsibility. So we start building that while you're writing, okay? Then you're going to write. And then you're going to have an editor team who's going to look over your book. As Yona said to me on a call, it's like, yeah, it's not like your aunt who had an English degree who's going to look at your book. You know what I mean? You're going to get real editors and real proofreaders, and we're going to make sure that's good. But we're also going to optimize the book. It's all about the reader. So we've done this a few times. So whether it's a fiction book or a nonfiction book or a children's book, there's really a formula and a winning system that we help you through. Once again, you don't have to worry about that. You just got to write. We're going to take care of all of that. Okay, and then we're near the end now. So this can take anywhere from, and we're quick. So because we want it out to market, we want to get to the juicy stuff, which is like the business building of the book. So this takes about 90 days, I would say. So from the moment that you hand us a manuscript, and then all the things that can happen, that can all happen within 90 days. So it's very, very exciting. And then that's when I say the magic happens. So for Shelley, it meant starting a brand new company. For Danielle, it meant, updating her consulting packages and being able to serve. She wrote a book about education, so her audience avatar is either parents or people in education. So that's very, very exciting.
I just wanted to add to what Yona said is, you might come to us to publish your book, but honestly, you're leaving with a whole personal brand built around you. And that's exactly what happened to Shelley. She came to us with just a book idea. Now she has a whole personal brand and a business around her book. So don't be the best kept secret. We all have a story to be told. So this is your time to put it out there And don't be afraid to do it. Like I am here today. Yeah. So just face your fears.
This is her first speaking engagement, y'all. Behind the scenes, and I'm the talkie like you know, right? And I'm just so proud of her. So I'm gonna leave you with this because I believe we all should be making money, like Chris White talked about too. To sell is to serve. Your book is a lead gen. Your book is a business builder. Don't leave it at just that book as the only way to consume or connect or buy with you. That's what we do at Lucky Book Publishing. We are committed to your business success. When you make money, you can serve, make a bigger impact. Yeah. This form right here, there's a QR code right on the top. We host masterclasses all the time on book outline writing workshops. And it's because of people like you, like many, you know what I mean? But we always say, like, you can't ride 2 horses with 1 ass, okay? Like, you gotta write 1 book at a time. But it's okay. You can write your fiction or your nonfiction and then your children's book. But you need to do 1 at a time, okay? So by going through our process, even this sheet right there, it's going to help you identify what the first book is. And that's all you gotta do. And you do 1 at a time. Like Hal came to us, he's got multiple books, but he picked 1, okay? And he's like, we're starting with this, and then we're going to the next. You see what I'm saying? Same as like Shelly, she started with the low-hanging fruit. I say your first book doesn't have to be overly complicated. It could be a smaller book. Just get the great words out, and then let's keep going. See what I mean? So there is a process. Okay, thank you. She told so successful, she got in the rooms and she had the conversation. It's the same thing as us, you know what I mean? Like Netflix producer, like you just don't, like that's the thing. Like you gotta put it out there and put your plan in place. And you're gonna make the increment. If that is the goal, just like how her goal was, being a plan, it will, you know what I mean? If it's gonna happen, it's gonna be happen. It's part of your destiny's life path. So that's all I gotta say. Like, can a publisher, can I guarantee you? I cannot.
No one can guarantee.
I cannot guarantee that because that's not my book of business. My book of business is to publish you and help you grow a great business and personal brand so that you can and get into the right rooms, right? You're gonna talk to us, you know what I'm saying? So that's the exciting part. The whole ecosystem of that, like I can't answer that like right on the spot right now, like we'd have to have a conversation, but that's what we do. Like that's part, like now you've got the book, but what are you going to do with it? You got to turn it into, as we were talking about, personal brand, a business behind it. And you're right, it sounds like you might not have that expertise already, and that's why you need to work with a team who knows what they're going to do, because there's 1,001 different things I can tell you, but like there's a right path for you.
Correct.
So I'll leave it there because that's part of the fun.
Figure it out.
We're gonna figure it
I
out.
need to add to that the magic happens in our authors community calls. We do author community call, which we talk about marketing. So that's where the magic happens between other authors and collaborations. And Danielle is a perfect example. She literally hosted every single author on her podcast. So she had them on her podcast.
And now agents are coming to her to pitch to her because of like what she grew in the Lucky Book family. So that's really cool.
That's where the magic happens.
It's magic.
It's in the community.
Yeah, she's a magic lady.
Yes.
Yeah. They're coming to me now.
Did you hear that? Now they're coming to her.
That's what you want to know, right? Okay.